All right. Hello, everyone. We are live.
What up? What up? What up?
Welcome to another episode of We're Gonna Have Words, where we discuss, debate, explore, and sometimes argue topics on life, love, relationships, and family. I am your host, Mandy, along with my hubs.
Duh. What up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? We're going to give a chance for people, those of you that are coming in, to get in here.
How come I can't do this thing?
What
You know that eye thing that you can do? I can't do that. I be trying to look at you sometimes when you say something slick, and I be wanting to do the eye thing, but I can't do it.
Can't.
Wait,
Do it.
wait.
Do it. No.
I'm not doing it.
No.
Wait. See, I can't do it.
Why you gotta move your mouth?
I want to so bad give you that eye when you be talking slick, but I can't do it. I'm gonna practice, and I don't like your idea of what I need to do to make that happen either.
Yeah, you just gotta let me pluck it a little
You're
bit.
not plucking my eyebrows.
Yeah, it will like something about it stimulates the muscles in your face or something. I don't know what
but
it
if you
is.
pluck one, don't you have to keep plucking after that?
No.
Okay, so if you plucked one eyebrow, then
Not
I'd be able to do it.
You
Okay,
don't
how
want
many?
to just pluck one eyebrow.
Okay, how many?
You want to pluck both of them if you're gonna pluck. Even
Wait,
the
both
hairs?
eyes? The hairs. Yeah.
No, you just I'll just clean you up a little bit and then
I'll be able to do it.
I don't know.
Well, no, see, I don't like that idea then. If you can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to do that after you pluck my eyebrows, then we'll figure out a different way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to do it. I want to.
Years.
It looks like I'm winking. Wait.
Years.
Am I doing it?
No.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to practice.
All right. So
I'm going to go on and jump into this topic for this week.
Yeah.
Oh, please make sure we talk about who the topic came from. One of my homeboys. Oh, I'll do it. My boy Gomez. First name Miguel. We've known each other for since 1997 or 1998, something like that, when we first met. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It is. So he came up with the topic. Oh, before we get started, I'd like to say welcome to everybody that joined the group. That's new to the We're Gonna Have Words group. Thank you so much for checking us out. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And we hope to, give y'all some enjoyment while you're listening to us. We're just regular people. You know what I mean? There's nothing extremely fascinating about us. We think we're special.
Yeah, well, individually, everyone is special.
That's true. I think I'm special. You think you're special?
I'm so special. I'm so special, so special, so special. Sorry.
That was my fault, y'all. I apologize for getting her to singing. All right, let's get into the topic. What we got?
All right. So, as you can see going across the screen, is basically challenges experience being an interracial, or I prefer multicultural, because we're all human race, right? So your experiences, any challenges. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of take it and give our personal experience and perspective. And so we can start off with both of our backgrounds, our ethnicities. So do you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. So I am Filipino and white, Caucasian, whatever you want to say. All right. With that said.
How so?
My dad is Filipino. My mom was, rest in peace, white from the South, Southern gal. My dad was actually born in the Philippines. So, but with that said, there's a little bit of Spanish in there, I'm not doing the little DNA thing, but
23andMe.
Rumor has it, or Ancestry or whatever. Rumor has it that there's some, but So what about you, sir?
I'm black.
No, you're not. You're not regular black.
I'm not regular black. Okay, to be specific, I was born in Central America.
Where at?
British Honduras. That's what it was called at the time.
Okay.
It's called
What's
British
it called
Honduras.
now?
It is called Belize now. It's called Belize. Yes.
So you would say you have a different culture than your traditional?
Yes, I would say that.
Okay.
That is a understatement.
Let's see here. We got some comments.
That is an understatement. But I've been. That's got to be Gomez. I've been mistaken for many different things, though.
Me too.
And what I mean by that is being in the military. You every 3 or 4 years you go someplace new, so you meet people and they say, "Oh," they hear you talk, and some people's voices and accents you can kind of pick up right away.
Yeah.
But mine is not really specific to.
Well, you can turn it on and off, though.
I can. But people say, "Oh, are you from the South?" And like, no.
Oh, well, I get all kinds of stuff.
You from New York or this place or that place or whatever. And so because I lived in New York. So
so you've been around. So you kind of like almost like sponge up the culture that you've been around. And a little bit of transparency, both of us are military brats. Mm-hmm. So we've been around all different kinds of people because of that. And so so what are some of the things that you've been mistaken for?
Mississippi, which I don't understand.
So you mean like where you're from, like locally?
Right.
Oh. Right. No one's mistaking you for like Dominican or.
I've gotten that before. Mm-hmm. I've gotten Dominican. I went to Africa when I was in the military.
And they thought
they thought I was African.
Really?
Yeah, but it's weird how African people look at you and then based off of your features they can say, "Oh, you're from this place or that place. Your heritage is from," because we all look like someone. We all have certain features and characteristics from our ancestors that can be traced back. So I'm sure someone looked like me or I look like them.
Yeah. I'm curious for those that are watching, even after if you see this later, comment and tell us what you would have assumed either one of us are, because that's interesting. I've gotten mixed, Mandy. I've gotten Puerto Rican. I've gotten actually it's very few that have
Cuban.
You?
Yes. Put that up, please. Put that up.
I actually was walking down the driveway to check the mail one day, and one of those construction trucks, and he yelled up, "Filipina, Filipina," and I'm like, yes, like
finally,
no one ever guesses that from me, and I guess because of the lighter hair or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, do you remember the time the guy asked somebody from work or whatever was like, "Is your wife gonna bring beans and rice to the?"
Yes, because they thought you were Latina. You get that a lot.
I do.
I think it's because of your hair color that people think you're Latina.
Well, I've heard like it's my attitude. It's
I wish I could get an eye right now. I can't do it. All right, go ahead.
The way that I talk, those kinds of things. Like I look Korean, really. That is a first. That is a first.
I think he's messing with you.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Who is that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out though.
I'll see it after when I go on Facebook to see who made the comments. It's just not showing up here.
Okay, so let's go back in history a little bit real quick before we jump into the rest of the topic. When you first met me, what was your initial thought about it? You just thought I was black and that was it?
Well, Beast, it's your cousin.
No.
I think it's Chino.
I don't know.
So yes. Either Chino or Katrina. So I didn't it wasn't like an immediate thought in my head that you're something other than like American black. Is that even politically correct?
I mean, I get
people get offended if you say regular black.
Well, no, but I understand what you mean.
Oh, okay. So, but it wasn't until after I got to know you that there was something just different. It was just different
from a cultural standpoint.
Yes. So it wasn't like the traditional African American, I guess, but
whatever is the politically correct thing to say.
Right, like I don't even know. Not politically correct at all. Right, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like I knew you weren't like from Florida, which is where we met. So I knew you weren't from Florida. I knew you were just someone. She just called you regular black. But I don't know, but you can tell by your features too. So I get the whole feature thing.
Honestly, I didn't know what your ethnicity was when I first met you. I couldn't look at you and just say, "Oh, you're this." And it wasn't until I came to your house the first time
that you see my dad,
and I saw your dad that. Well, I met your mom and dad at the same time.
Yeah.
That that's what the mix was, and.
Someone said, "Don't get PC. Let's hurt some feelings."
We might hurt some feelings. We try not to, but
yeah, we're not meaning to. We meaning it's all
feelings. Love. But I didn't think that you were what your mix is. That you were Filipino.
Is that Brandon? That's
I don't know. Brandon. That you were Filipino and Caucasian.
You wouldn't have guessed it?
No, I wouldn't have guessed it at all. And then you don't especially look like either one of your parents.
No, I don't think so either. I think if you see both of my parents and you have to choose which one I look more like, obviously it's my dad. But with time I see different features that I see them in myself, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So
all right, let's get into it.
All right, so
you have some questions for me, not the good Australian. So you have some questions
like
for me.
The ones in the bush, really? Who is that for E or me?
That must be me. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so
you have some questions for me.
Yeah, so
okay,
it's actually for both of us to answer, and of course the audience can chime in too.
Okay.
Did you always date outside of your ethnicity?
No.
Okay.
I did not. So I culturally, so I can't say. Let me say this. I've met people and hung out with people, black men, where their mothers or their family has said, "Oh, if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home." That kind of thing.
Oh.
Okay, which is a cultural thing. Now, I never was told that by my parents. And from the time where my memory starts, where I can remember things from my childhood, we were in New York. Okay, which in New York it's everything. Okay, you see all ethnicities in New York, but at that point I hadn't developed, I don't think so, a liking or a preference one way or the other. And then we lived in Hawaii, and so.
Well, how old were you?
I was young. Still single digits.
Okay, but when you became like a teenager, like where were you?
Oh, I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
That's DC. DC and New York.
Okay.
But living in Hawaii, you see a lot of course, Native Hawaiians, Filipinos.
Yes.
Of course, regular Caucasian, white, whatever word you want to use, people. And so, and just going to school with all types of races and ethnicities, it just allowed me to see everything.
Right.
So I was exposed to everything. So I didn't necessarily have a preference. I think the first girl I really had a crush on I think she was Filipino, if I had to think about it for a second, but not Filipino in mixed like you. I mean, mother and father Filipino.
Oh, okay. Like straight up Filipino.
Straight up Filipino, not mixed. So it was kind of, I was 8, 9, 10, whatever I was. I think she was my first crush. And then after that, living in New York, living in DC, where Chocolate City in DC.
So you basically dated to what was available, I guess.
What was around, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because we lived in DC, and I went to an elementary and a junior high school in DC, where maybe you saw one or two people that weren't black.
Somebody said off the boat.
Yeah. Maybe you saw one or two people that weren't black. So you saw them, but that was it. It wasn't a, I see this girl over here. She's whatever. I'm going to go talk to her. It was just what was around. So that's what I dealt with. And then as I got a little older, living overseas, and then of course being in the military.
So you dated pretty much the rainbow.
I don't know the rainbow, but I dated outside my race. But that doesn't bother me.
That's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to find Filipino and white men.
What about you? What was your first crush?
My first little boyfriend in elementary school was Filipino and black.
Okay.
But I've always like in the looks department, like as far as like physically attractive, I always have been attracted to brown skin men, probably having to do with my dad. So
okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So and it just, I don't know.
I can see that.
Like, I mean, I gravitated towards like a mixed look, whatever.
I don't know.
I feel like that's your brother.
Probably. Go ahead. You go.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been kind of like visually attracted to mixed skin tone.
Okay.
So kind of like the complexion of our son.
Okay.
So, but
that makes sense.
As I got older, I do find more Caucasian men attractive. Like just seeing on TV or whatever, not in the grocery store.
Wait, what now?
I'm just saying, like, just to where I wouldn't have said that was my preference before. I would have said, oh, mainly brown skin, but yeah. But,
I'm about to give you the eye.
No, but I mean, like when we're watching TV, it's so weird. But usually they're from somewhere else. Like they have an accent and they're Australian or they're Irish or something else. Yeah.
That's how I feel. See, exactly.
She likes the way.
Exactly.
You do too, I bet. If I know who this is, I know who
exactly.
I bet you that's a brand.
So, as you were growing up in high school and things like that, did you date predominantly black men?
Oh, no, that's Chino.
Did you date predominantly black men?
High school? Yeah, I think so. I think so. But that's Florida. It was. I don't know. I guess it was.
Well, I mean, you did live in Duval County, so
yeah. But
that's. If anybody ever been to Jacksonville, you know about Duval.
I mean, but it wasn't like exclusively like, oh, I need a brother. Because some fair-skinned women prefer that, and will only.
Oh, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in a minute. What's your next question for me?
Try not to be offensive.
I won't be. I promise. What's your next question?
So, how does your family feel about your relationship? That's the next question. I never had any issue with my family having any strong opinions about the ethnicity of the people that I dated or was interested in. It was more or less like, are they going to treat you right? And because it would be kind of hypocritical because my parents experienced some, like my dad, some racial slurs, even from my mom's side of the family, like not her immediate, but extended part. So it's like, if you weren't white, you were black. And so they were calling my dad the racial slur for black folks.
Yeah. Gotcha. No, I haven't had any problems with my family in terms of, not dating within my race. Like I said, they were
saying that race.
That? Well, you know what ethnicity then.
Yeah, that's better.
But you know what I mean. That
your parents wouldn't have preferred that you bring home a black woman.
I don't know, but they never said it to me. You know what I mean? And I've had prior relationships with black women, of course. But they never said to me specifically, "Oh, you can't or you shouldn't do this or do that because this person is,
right."
And of course, there are cultural differences that you're going to have, right? But
oh yeah, that's for sure, Brandon.
But I know guys that even in, you know, the
What?
peasy head, that means nappy hair.
Oh Lord.
I know guys to this day, even in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
that would say out loud, "Oh, I can't
Bring home
I can't
or
bring home a woman that's not black.
mm-hmm.
You know, my beautiful black queen and stuff like that, right?" Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no.
Okay. But that's not stopping you necessarily from having relations with other women.
Oh, so they'll have sex with the rainbow, but not
Right. But
yeah.
don't want to get married to someone other than a black woman, which is fine. You know, it doesn't make any difference to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as the guys that I know that only date black women, I'm like, hey man, date whoever you want to date. It's completely up to you. You know what I'm saying? You
Let's talk
like who
about that.
you like
It's
who
kind of
you like.
reverse racism.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
You kind of like who you like. You know what I mean? But I would never tell anybody in my family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that you can't
to say, oh,
date outside or
you're wrong for doing this or doing that. You know what I mean? And of course, I don't want to stray too far, but you have celebrities, whatever that means. But you have basketball players, football players, actors, things like that. They achieve a certain status, and when you see pictures of them or stuff like that on the internet, they're married to a white woman, right? And so,
does that offend you?
It does not offend me.
Oh,
but I'm sure that I don't want to speak for black women, but I've heard stories and heard black women say that, oh, why did they get this money or get this status and then go marry a white woman,
right? Okay?
Or whatever,
I mean,
without having any history or knowledge of anything, but and then they can compare it to, say, let's use Denzel, for instance. Denzel is very successful, very well-known black actor, married to a black woman.
Yeah.
Right. So some may put that in a certain brighter light because, like, oh, he did all of this. He's successful. He achieved all of these things, and he did it with a sister.
Okay.
But the black man that's successful and achieved things but has a white woman, maybe, oh, why couldn't he marry his sister? Why couldn't he do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And then there's sometimes where the thought process taken a little too far, because it could be love, just love. You know what I mean?
Did y'all know, to everyone watching and the people that follow us, did you know that up until 1967, interracial marriage was illegal in the United States? 1967. That's 54 years ago. It was illegal to marry outside. Not to say that people
recently read that somewhere.
People, of course, were getting married. Okay.
Yes.
But it wasn't legal in the United States, throughout all the United States, until 1967.
Someone says still in some states. I wanted to address this
comment still in some
here.
Counties, probably.
So I can't see your name, but it's probably showing up on the Facebook Live. But people who live for what their parent or family wants, never happy, right? I agree with that, especially when it comes to, like, who you're in love with. I mean, as long as that person is treating them right, it shouldn't matter.
What you got for me? What's the next question?
Yes, and yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Still in some states that it might still be illegal. Which is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy too. Yeah.
What you got?
Let me see. So we talked about the family part. I think I could change this banner now. Oh, what's been the most challenging?
What's been the most challenging
in the relationship, as far as it being us being from different backgrounds?
I wouldn't say that anything's been challenging once I removed the fact in my brain that I was separating things because you weren't black. So if you're married to a black man and he's going through some things, whether it's at work or maybe having bad interactions with Caucasians or white people, okay, or maybe having interactions with police or stuff like that. And then he comes home and he tries to explain it to you. Okay. And, someone that's not black might say, oh, I don't understand. Or why did this thing happen or
have
whatever.
You experienced that with me?
I'm getting to that.
Oh.
So.
I mean, I wouldn't think so.
Right. So naturally, a black woman would say, oh, I understand, because she's also black. So she experiences some of the same things.
So you feel like that would be like an instant understanding?
It'd be an instant understanding where you wouldn't necessarily have to explain it. But if you're married to someone that's not black, then you have to explain the differences.
Right.
Okay. And so I think in the beginning, it was a thought process of, oh, I need to get certain things across to you because I am a black man. I need to tell you everything about all of my experiences about being a black man, how tough certain things are for black men in America.
Did you felt like you had to do that
in the beginning? Oh, this was my thought process going into it.
Oh,
okay.
I
didn't... as part of the getting to know you part and getting you to understand me, I was thinking, I need to explain all these things to you. I'm going to act a certain way or react a certain way because I'm a black man in America.
So you're gonna have to explain.
I'm gonna have to explain it to you.
Black mentality to this non-black person.
Right. I have to explain my blackness to you because where maybe you wouldn't understand why I would react to a thing a certain way. You're not living that. So I have to tell you. Right. If I'm explaining something to you about something that happened,
especially if I'm incapable of putting myself in your shoes.
Exactly. If I'm dealing with someone at work that's not black, and I say, "Oh, this thing happened."
Well, know, I'm quick to pull the black card. I'm like, it's because you're black, and I don't like it.
But I'm just saying. No. I mean, well, now, right?
Yeah. But you didn't know that.
But I didn't know that. Yeah. Right. So, but my thought process was, I need to explain it to you.
Okay. Oh, initially. Okay.
Initially. So maybe if you're married to a black woman, you don't have to explain it. Because
or maybe you don't feel like you have to,
or you don't feel like it because she would have had the same experiences.
Well, that's assuming like that she's a black woman seeing the world fully as a black woman, because I know there's some black women that are maybe adopted that come in other families that maybe feel like they don't or only partially see the world in a certain way. That way,
or like if they get adopted or something into a mixed family,
right? Oh, especially if they grew up surrounded by white people, then I
they may have different experiences.
Yeah, I'm just saying based on experience, but
we don't want to go down that road.
No, I'm just saying you're assuming that is an assumption that a black woman would just automatically understand exactly what you're going through.
That's your presumption, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying for you personally, that's what I'm trying to.
That you don't have to explain it. That she's just going to get it off top.
Gotcha.
And so in my mind, I was thinking I needed to explain it all to you. Now, there have been certain instances where I've explained things to you. Okay. Just so you
because I'm not black. So
right, just so you can understand my thought process around certain things. Okay. And you can see stuff on the news, you can read stories and all that kind of stuff. But to get it from me firsthand,
right.
Even though culturally my upbringing was different and I was born someplace else, right? I wasn't born in the United States. I'm not from the South or however you want to describe it.
Do you think that you're viewed differently because you're...
No, absolutely not.
You don't feel like you get a different...
Nope.
Like once people realize you're... Oh, okay.
Yeah, but how are they going to realize it? Because people are just going to see me and they're going to think I'm black. I'm a lighter brown skinned black person.
I can't remember who was it. Godfrey, the comedian, that talked about that's where the regular black comes from, where he was just in the States and people thought, oh, I thought you were just regular black, but you're not. I think, what is he?
He's Nigerian.
Nigerian. Yeah. So it's
funny dude. Shout out to Godfrey.
Right. So hilarious. But he was talking about how the difference, it's kind of like being Filipino American and coming straight from the Philippines. Like Filipino Americans, like, oh, like I did not speak Tagalog. Is there this stigma with that? Sometimes I feel like it because like, oh, what, you don't know Tagalog? Oh, so it's not, you're not really Filipino then, you know what I mean? And there's a certain stigma with like being Nigerian and growing up in the US or being straight from Nigeria or, that kind of.
I wouldn't know firsthand.
I'm saying once someone gets to know you, it's like, oh, you're like, for him, it was, oh, you're not regular black. Oh, you're Nigerian. Oh, cool. That this is like, it's a different, I don't know.
No.
Or is it just all encompassing?
No. Initially, off somebody seeing you, they just think you're black.
About afterward.
I know. I'm getting to it. So somebody sees you, they just think you're black, right? They don't know, where you might be from or necessarily anything like that. They wouldn't know you were born in a different country or anything like that, right? It's just, it's a brother. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And as black people, as black men, we vibe off each other. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that time we were driving? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You remember that time? Hold on, we'll get to the question.
Oh, okay.
Remember that time we were driving across the country, and I think we stopped at a Walmart or something like that in Iowa. Is that where we were? Where were we?
Montana.
We were in Montana.
Yeah.
We stopped at a Walmart, and I was walking into the Walmart, and there was
a brother walking out.
No black people around.
No.
Okay. None. And a brother was walking out of the Walmart. He seen me, and he shouted me out and said what's up to me, gave me the head nod and all the other things.
You would have thought you guys would have known each other.
That we would.
Y'all stopped and y'all was like, hey!
Right, exactly.
And
that's just something that's inherently black, right? When you somewhere where there's not a lot of black people and you see another black person.
Think that's just with black folks. So.
But I understand, but I'm just saying from a black person's perspective, right? You see another black person where there's not a black people around, you be like, yo, what up? Yeah. Certain mannerisms and the way you carry yourself and things that you do, that's specifically black, right?
No, listen.
And it doesn't matter where you from, where you were born. That
just might be a brown thing because we were in Maine for like how long? 4 years?
No, you can say black. It's okay.
No, I'm saying meaning me. I'm brownish. So brownish.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is like we were in Maine for a long time, and it was there was a majority there. And I remember getting on a plane, and I had a layover in Atlanta, and of course I had to change planes, and I walked off, and I was just like, it's just how for us we prefer diversity, and just being in a space where it's just a lot of one and then to have similarly that like good, like it was refreshing to see brown people. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
kind of not really. Anyway,
no, but it was kind of like, except for it wasn't a one-on-one. I was just like,
right.
Yeah. So you want to?
Yeah, and so talking about what you were just saying, that when you go out to the stores or whatever, you see people around and you see mixed couples, mixed babies, and things like that. So you just think it's normal that there are interracial couples around.
Yeah.
Right. You just think, oh, everybody's mixing cultures and all that kind of stuff nowadays because you see it.
Right.
Now, of course, that has something to do with where you live. Like us, we live near a military base. So, of course, we see a lot of mixed.
Yeah, here. Yeah.
Mixed married couples. I don't know if they're married or whatever, but mixed couples, mixed kids, things like that. Yes. You know what I mean? So what was that question? Let's put that question up.
The question is, have you ever experienced a time when you were out with your wife and someone of your background looked at you and you can sense that the person was wondering, why aren't you with someone like
that happened to you?
Yeah, totally taken off guard. Yeah. Long time ago. We were in the Walmart parking lot and the dude was Asian. I don't know what kind of Asian, but he pulled up.
He was in his car. We were walking.
Yeah, we were walking, putting stuff in the car, and he stopped and was like, "Why are you with the N-word?" And I was just like so appalled. I was like so appalled because I'm like, you're brown like me. I feel like everyone with a tint has some kind of understanding of what it feels like to be discriminated against, either by seeing someone you love or experiencing it yourself. Why would you be stopping and saying that to me?
And you had to talk me off the ledge because I wanted to put hands on that dude.
He was a little bit cowardly about it because he said it and then he pulled it off.
Oh my goodness. I wanted you. I was going over to the car, which I don't know if that would have been the smart thing to do. But at the moment when he was saying that, he kind of sat there for a second, so he didn't peel right off. So I wanted to go over there.
No, it was just like a pause. He's like, yeah. What are you doing with that N-word?
I wanted to go over there.
Kind of like, wait, what?
Right.
And it was 2 seconds, and then he was
gone.
Then
he peeled off.
And then, Errol's reacting at that point. And so I'm like, no.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Because in this situation,
I wanted to go over there.
You're in the parking lot.
Yeah, I wanted to go over there and put hands on him.
I know.
Because.
But it wouldn't have been worth it, though. That wasn't going to change.
It would have been worth it at the moment.
That wouldn't change.
He might have thought about not saying anything like that again after you get a 2-piece spicy. I'm just saying. You start running your mouth and somebody. Hold on. You start running your mouth and somebody give you a 2-piece. You might think about not saying whatever you said again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So getting back to this question, right? Because I wanted to make sure we talked about this. It actually happened to me today while I was out with my wife, who's white Colombian. So to me, it's shameful to look down on anybody, right? And say, oh, why aren't you with what the same race that you are? What difference does it really make?
But that's so very hard to do. Anyway, you're really dwindling down your options there. Because if we all go take those DNA tests to find out, it's going to be hard to
be all mixed up.
Yeah. Everyone's 10% this, 25% that, 48% this. And it's like, good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Who is 100% anything?
Nobody.
Other than Africans.
Nobody, baby.
Other than Africans. And I'm not talking about the South Africans that are, because they're white. You have white Africans. Like in South Africa and like Charlize Theron, she's South African. Okay, and then you have at the northern part of Africa, of course, you have they're African, but they're mixed. They look different races and stuff like that. But who's 100% anything? Especially if you're born in the United States, are you really 100% anything? Like if you went to look up your name and try to find out,
that's real hard.
What is the real breakdown of your name and trace your history and all these kinds of things, you'd find out that you were mixed with a lot of stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not 100% anything. You may be born in a country and your family's from that country, right? Which is fine. Okay. But, we're all a little jumbled up and, mixed around and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I can understand how someone saying something to you or approaching you would make you angry and want to, react.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, that was many years ago when that happened in the parking lot. But I believe that still exists now, even in 2021. I think there's still people out there that, are just walking around in some cities that you probably wouldn't even imagine that you think is, diverse, walking around thinking, oh, if you're white, you should be married to a white person. If you're black, you should be married to a black person. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I can't understand.
That's kind of difficult.
I honestly cannot understand how people still think that way or feel that way. When everybody's into different things, right?
Yeah.
You like who you like. You don't know where you're gonna meet somebody. You don't know when you're gonna meet somebody, where you're gonna meet them at, whether or not you're gonna be attracted to them for whatever reason. I wasn't attracted to you because I thought, oh, she's part Filipino and part white, so I'm attracted to her because of that. That wasn't it at all.
Right. It's not like you miraculously fell in love with me more because of my ethnicity.
Right. It had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I was in love with I am in love with you for the person.
Oh, so you don't love me anymore. I thought you loved me.
Well, you looking at Australian dudes now, so
No, I'm just saying as far
you did say you be checking out the white dudes on TV.
No, I just see a white dude and I say, oh, he's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do a little Google thing and I find out he's
wait a minute, you Googling too?
He's not regular white.
Why are you Googling?
I mean, because I know that about me. Like someone had told me a long time ago, you like dudes from over there. That's what you like. You like dudes from over there. So I was like,
what was over there? What does over there mean?
Meaning, not like American dudes, not like from here, grew up here.
Yes, she Googling. Put that comment up, please. Need to put that up right there.
No, but it's like it's kind of been put in my head that so when I find someone attractive, what do? I go find out that he's from another place. Like basically, he doesn't have just American culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mm-hmm. But that's no shade to American white dudes or American black dudes or American Asians or
I'm about to check your search history and see who you've been Googling lately. Which white? You used to have a crush on. What was the white dude that was on this? What was that show we used to watch? Or was it a movie? What's the movie? It was. Oh my goodness.
What was the movie about?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't have a Pornhub, Brandon. I know that's you.
He was a white dude, and he was in the movie, and the girl was like, they had factions. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, what was the name of that movie? It's like 2 or 3 of them. I'm not talking about Jennifer Lawrence. I'm talking about a different movie. It was a white dude that you had a crush on. I'm gonna think about his name.
Who was in the movie? Who was the other lead?
Oh, Shailene Woodley or Shailene Woodley or something. And her I'll do it later. But anyway, you had a crush on the dude in the movie, and come to find out, he wasn't from America either. He was something else too. See, I see what's going on with you.
Well, so I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Sookie Stackhouse, a True Blood series that was on HBO for a while. So the main character had a brother named, I think his name was Jason, the character's name, and he played a really dumb character, but I was like oddly attracted to him, like just looking at him, right? Just the physical part.
Ooh, I wish I could give you the eye.
And so I was like, oh wow, that's weird. Come to find out, he's Australian. So he was faking like the Southern Louisiana accent, like the Southern twang, but he was actually.
Here we go with the Australian dudes again.
He was acting that in. I think that's his name.
There we go. What's the next question you got for me? That right there.
Well, yeah, but also this here. Do you experience people staring? Would you say people stare at us?
I don't think so. I don't pay attention to it. If they are staring, I don't pay it any attention at all. I just keep it moving. I don't have time to be wondering to myself.
Not even early on to be like,
nope.
No, that's not Tom Holland.
Nope. Because we have always, other than when we lived in Maine, we've pretty much always lived in very diverse places. Even when we lived on the West Coast, there was diversity around. So we just, went about our day, went about our business, and didn't even really pay attention to what people were thinking about. I remember when way back in the day when people met you and you would say, "Oh, my name is Mandy." People would think, "Oh, is that short for Amanda?" Right?
Oh yeah, so people would just be like Amanda,
right?
Or Mindy. They would call me Mindy,
which I think is people were looking at you and maybe at that point thinking you were white.
I don't know what they were thinking,
because why would the first thing would be to go to Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the people staring part, like I always kind of felt like all my life just being mixed, that people were trying to figure out what I am. And even to have people have said like, where are you from? And I would be like, well, you mean where I'm from, like where I grew up at, or my ethnicity? Like which one do you really mean? Because I've been like Florida and I'd be like, no, I mean like, what's your nationality? And so so always clarify what they mean by that, because I believe people are trying to figure out, what is she? Can't quite put my finger on it. Is she Asian? Is she white? Is she what is she? Do you remember when we were I think it was on my lunch break at work, and somebody thought that I was Somebody stopped. I'm like, oh, are you Native American?
Really?
Do you remember?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? It was in Washington.
You don't look Native American at all, though.
No, but I thought it was because of the sweater I had on. I had this black color sweater that had like the gold, black, and brown and white. And that's what he said. He was like, "Oh, maybe it's the colors you have on." Because I was like,
"It had to be," because I never would have gotten that.
No, but he was like, "Oh, are you Native American?" And, no, I wouldn't have. That was the first for me, because
we have a neighbor that's Native American, and you can look at her and tell that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't assume. No, I always ask.
Right. I mean, there are some. Some
people get really offended.
There are some ethnicities where you can look at them and know right off that
they are right.
They're from someplace else.
Right.
Man, you probably can't put your finger on it, but
Asians are a little harder, and we get offended. Some of us get offended if you're like Filipina. No, Korean. Oh, sorry.
I don't think you don't look Korean. I think Koreans, at least the Koreans that I've met, have different features than Filipino women.
I think so, but sometimes when you're talking about, it's just a little. I mean, I don't think I look Korean because I have this mixed about me. But for some full Asians, sometimes it's hard to tell. I mean, you seen Joe Coy. Shout out to Joe Coy.
No, the funny cat.
Yes. Yes, where he does the imitations of the Asians.
The different Asians.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, you should probably go look at it. He's on Netflix.
So I'll ask the question to you that you're going to ask to me. Do you think you've had any challenges being married to a Black man?
I don't think so. I don't think I've had any challenges based upon you being Black or Belizean or I can't recall any other
than made me think of something.
I don't recall any outside of that one occasion when the guy pulled up and I was just like appalled because I was like, "You're brown too. What are you doing?"
So check this out. Let's talk about the culture a little bit. And so we had the comment earlier about
shining on your face.
It is. So we had the comment earlier about being married to a white Colombian and I'm Belizean. And so culturally, a lot of things are different. The food, the dance, the music, things like that. So let's go back to the first time maybe not the first time, but a time you were at a family event early on and the music, the soca, the reggae.
Well, I liked reggae music before I met you. So.
Right, but you may like reggae music, but Belizeans, we get down. We party.
I always embrace the culture that came with you.
Right. So I'm asking though.
It was never like abrasive to me.
But you didn't know how to whine.
Huh?
You didn't know how to whine.
I mean, did I? Did I not?
Nah.
You taught me that?
I'm
trying to take credit for everything.
I'm not saying I taught you.
Oh, and he tried to take credit for my butt.
No. I'm not saying I taught you. I'm just saying you didn't know how to whine when we first met and we was going to family events and stuff like that.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
No,
I mean, yeah, we'll let you tell your truth.
It is the truth.
I mean, I really don't dance like that.
I understand that, but when you
I gotta be a little tipsy.
When you was having family get-togethers where you was from, y'all wasn't winding up. When nobody listening to reggae music and doing all of that. That's what I'm saying. It's culturally different. So were you intimidated at all by that? I mean, because when we're home, it's family, right? Everybody's just there.
Intimidation is when it's like come dance, and you really don't dance. Then it's like,
is it okay? So was it because you don't dance that much in the beginning, or it was watching the dance and the party and everything, and you was maybe a little intimidated by it? I'm asking.
No, I wasn't intimidated by it. If it's something that I could easily do, then I would be right there with it.
Look at the sun just shining on your boy. Ooh, look at it.
Ooh, blessed and highly favored.
Look at the sun just
shining
on your
what I was
boy.
saying in order to talk about the sun.
My bad. I had to take a moment. All right, go ahead.
So, I mean, it just takes a little splishy splash to get me, I'm not really.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. The sun was shining.
But no, but I think, Are you done?
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Tell your story. I'm sorry.
Oh, I forget. This is the Arrow show.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. It says we're. It says we're gonna have words. Not I'm gonna have words.
Even Nico says you are out your mind.
My bottom row is fake. Whatever. All right, go ahead with your story.
So, but no, I embraced it. I've always been kind of open-minded when it comes to different cultures and different foods, different things. Just always been open to trying it, to embracing it, I've never been like, oh, that's different and wrong. No, I've never. And I don't know if that's because like having two different cultures, and I'm sure that reflects in some of my personality, where I have my dad, Filipino side, and then I have my mom, very Southern kind of, mix. Who said uppity? That's Brandon. No, I wouldn't say I'm uppity either. That's a misconception too, but we'll get into that on another podcast.
So for me, having that culture, whenever I'm around other cultures, whether it's, Spanish or Mexican or whatever, it just fits right in. To me, it's not even an assimilation. It's just, this music is on.
No, it's just cool.
I'm a party.
That's it. It's just, it's not like you're simulating or I don't know if that's a word. But well, for you though, I don't think you had any issues blending in.
No, because
with my family.
Because growing up, my mother was in the military, so we were around people of different ethnicities, and I remember trying lumpia when I was young. My mother used to make lumpia in the house. She used to work with a lady that was Filipino that taught her how to make lumpia, and so.
So you Filipino too?
A little bit. So
no,
she used to make lumpia for us. So I had those experiences early on, way before I met you. So, to come to your house and your mother has lumpia, it wasn't what is that kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have to try and figure it out and stuff like that. And, when you've come to early on, we had the rice and beans and the potato salad and
it wasn't
stew beans and rice.
I don't think the only thing that ever was like, oh, I don't know if I could eat that was when we were at Granny's and I seen the curly tail of the pig's tail coming out. It was boiling and it was kind of wiggling in the pot. Right. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Cause I seen it. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was pretty much open. And I've been open-minded with that, just different.
So do you think that
mental note
other people think more about other people's relationships more than the people in a relationship think about it? Like, what is your consciousness in regards to early on? Probably, of course, not now. What is your consciousness in regards to, we are in a mixed interracial relationship, and then forward into a mixed interracial marriage and a mixed interracial child.
Yeah.
So what was your awareness to that? And did you think that, this could potentially be a problem? Did you worry about those kinds of things?
I didn't worry about it initially at all. It wasn't until it's like a certain, because there comes some ignorance, right? With not being Black to the Black experience, right? So there's no way that I could ever really understand, but I can try and put myself in your position to try and understand some of the racism that you experience, some of the discrimination that you experience, right? And so as time progressed, it's like, I don't want that unfairness for you. And then when you fast forward to us being a family and now our son, which is like, okay, this is a reality that though he may not appear on the outside and people may wonder what he is, there's maybe a point in time where someone or people treat him differently based on his ethnic background, whether if it be Filipino or Black or Asian or whatever, and so that has become more of an awareness as time has progressed, compared to in the beginning where you just, for me, was just kind of like an ignorance thing, not really paying much attention, having feelings about racism, period, right? Whether if it's just from the people I love or my dad, or feeling like that's not right, to not really giving so much thought to, oh, well, if I choose someone that's not the same as me, what are the repercussions for that? I never really, and I wasn't about to be intimidated by it though either. So
okay. I think maybe in the beginning of our relationship, I had a little, trepidation about it, because your dad is Filipino, and so I think maybe, and it was just based solely off of some of the interactions I'd had in the military with some of the Filipino guys that was in the military. I think maybe I had a little trepidation about it, and he was out the Navy, but I was in the Navy, so he might have been thinking, oh, here comes this Navy guy trying to court my daughter or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I think I was a little worried in the beginning, but I never felt any kind of way, I would say, with your family. Now, whether or not they had thoughts and ideas about it, I don't know. Maybe they talked about it as husband and wife. You know what I mean?
I think the only issue there was, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's a little bit older than me.
I'm not that much older than you. Not that much.
And so that was like early on, that was like, oh, my mom had that kind of concern, like, oh, he's older than any of the other guys, so what does that mean? Like, how vulnerable does that make me, because you've lived a little longer than I have. So
someone said, I don't like to see Black women in interracial relationship. It kind of bothers me. So there might be people that are walking around thinking that as Black men, you see a Black woman in a relationship with someone that's not Black, and it may bother you. It might feel like, oh, what is this? What's this sister doing with,
this white
dude or this whatever?
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, listen, there's conversations that happen in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? And when it's just the fellas, you know what I mean?
That's not so far-fetched. If Black women feel a way about Black men being with white women or not Black women, then Black men there must be some that feel that way too.
Because as you're a Black man and you see an attractive sister walking down the street. Now, mind you, she's not there for you. She's just a sister walking down the street, and you see her with somebody that's not Black.
Right.
And you might think to yourself, or you say, oh, what is this sister doing with a white dude? Or what is she doing with a Caucasian man or whatever, right?
Right.
Which is unfair, right? Because if it's okay, in my mind, for me to be with somebody that's not Black, and then to see a Black woman with somebody that's not Black, who am I to judge? Who am I to say?
Yeah.
And it's okay that, that's your preference and that's what you like, and then you see it and it bothers you a little bit. That's perfectly all right. But I just try to look at it through, a lens of that doesn't have anything to do with me.
Right.
I'm trying to make my relationship work. I don't have time to be thinking about what someone is doing in their own relationship.
Right.
And there's women in my family that aren't married to Black men, and that doesn't bother me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I honestly don't think anything about it whatsoever. I feel like love who you love.
Yeah, love is love.
Relationships are tricky sometimes. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter what
it doesn't matter,
is.
right? you it's a man and a woman trying to make a relationship work.
So I do have to say that I think for like the maybe for the relationships with a white person that, and I can only say this because I'm my own experience in being part white. I think there sometimes can be it's like an understanding boundary where, you know, a white person may not have the same experience in as a black person, so they can't quite wrap their head around, you know, specifically when it comes to like mixed babies. If you have a white person, you have a black person, you have the product of the child, right, which is a mixed baby. And then so as a black person, you might say, oh, you know, they're going to be treated differently because they're black. You have that concern. And you have the white person maybe not seeing that. Oh, they'll be all right. You know, but that there's comes that whole there has to be a shift in the understanding and removing of the ignorance, and which is something that I even had to do just because I have to understand that I'm not black and I will never experience, but it is part of my job as your spouse to try and put myself in an understanding mind space. Okay, so I wanted to go back here because of some comments here. Someone said that they agreed that people think about interracial relationships more than the couples.
Right.
If a C came home, he can. I'm not discriminating against any.
Let's just start with smart. Let's just start right there. You can date whoever you want to date, be with whoever you want to be with. Just be smart.
What about the white side? I think this is in reference to
we passed all that.
No, not that I know of. No one has said anything to me about my relationship on my white side. Let's see. Let's see. My relationship.
That is true. Turn the light. That is true.
Yeah.
We do all look the same when the light's out.
Yeah.
You know what I think is the important takeaway from all of this is that for things that you don't understand about your partner's cultural experiences, is you have to ask questions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you're wondering about it, say, explain it to me. You know, as a black man, I might come to you and talk about something. I might be on a rant and a rage about something. And I say, oh, you know, this thing didn't happen for me because I'm black, right? This thing didn't go this way because I'm black. I didn't get this promotion or whatever happened because I'm black. And
why do you say it like that?
No, I'm just saying to you that I might come off that way. I might say it that way.
Oh, you don't ever come off that way to me.
I'm just giving you an example. And then you might be thinking, well, maybe you just didn't get the promotion because you didn't get the promotion.
Oh no, it's because you're black.
Right. But
I'm co-signing. I'm co-signing all the way.
Right. But if I'm saying those kinds of things without context and without explaining to you why I feel that way, you might start to develop this idea that I start thinking that everything is against me because I'm black.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there's a line, you know what I mean?
Right. And there are things that exist in the world that people just have different thoughts and process about things because of the color of your skin. That's just the facts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just be clear about that right now. We do not live in a 100% symbiotic. Is that the right word? I don't know. Anyway, America, where everybody just gets along regardless, right? So you know, I a long time ago started removing that from my brain.
What, that things don't happen for
I was black. Yeah, okay. I had to because otherwise I'd be angry all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, and
I would think everything that didn't happen the way I may have planned it.
Then you don't take responsibility.
Was because I was black, right? So I had to remove that and start working down into the actual causes of things that I could, and say, okay, you know, well, what do I have to do to get this next thing? Because I'm always going to be black. So I can't just keep walking around thinking and saying to myself, this thing didn't happen because I'm black. Now, if anybody, if that's how you want to feel and believe that things don't happen for you or happen a particular way because you're black, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying for me, I had to kind of take some of that away and start working towards what I'm trying to get to and what I'm trying to achieve without thinking someone else is not doing something or giving me something because I'm black.
Right.
I just said, hey, I got to go out here and I got to get my own. Right. If I'm trying to get a promotion, I need to find out what that promotion calls for. Right. What's the next thing? What do I need to do to get to the next thing? And if I'm doing all that stuff and I don't get the promotion, well, then I just didn't get the promotion. Okay. I could sit back and say to myself, oh, this other person, let's say is a white person, got the promotion and I didn't. And I could say easily, because it's the easy thing to go to, oh, I didn't get the promotion because I was black. That person got the promotion because they were white. And I'm sure that happens in America. Okay. I'm absolutely sure that happens. But I don't know that to a certainty. I can think it and I can say it, but I don't know for sure that the reason I didn't get a thing is because I'm black. But I also can't walk around all the time thinking that.
Well, I know sometimes I go based upon feeling, because I think sometimes you can get that inkling.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, I don't think this is an experience thing. I think this might be a little bit of racism or discrimination or whatnot.
Yeah, but how do you know exactly? Because if you can't prove it,
I think there would be like signs you could see. I mean, I don't know. I've seen.
I'm not saying I haven't experienced it. I'm saying that I had to relinquish some of that out of my spirit.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I had to stop walking around all the time when things didn't happen the way that I wanted it to happen. Right. That it was because I'm black. Okay.
Well, you can't have it as you can't have it remove responsibility for anything that you do. So it's not like, you have to take responsibility if you're doing the work or whatever. That can't be your go-to excuse, quotations.
Of course there's going to be, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Of course there's going to be instances of people doing that, right? Not giving something to someone that they deserved or that they earned and give it to somebody else that maybe didn't deserve it. And it comes down to a color thing.
Yeah, because I think that sometimes it's deliberately done, and I sometimes think it is subconsciously done.
Yeah, sometimes it's out there. Sometimes you can see it, and it's on Front Street, where you know that the reason you didn't get something that you deserve is because of some discrimination.
Right, or some stereotype that someone jumped to, assuming somebody was something based on their name. I'm going to pass up this particular resume because of the name. The name sounds too brown, or, and they don't, I think some of it is intentional and some of it is subliminal. They don't even know. Because I think we all have experience with that. Jumping to conclusions.
Right. And, it's getting back to the challenges and experiences. It's terrible that people have to live thinking about that, right? Yeah. That they're going to be looked at differently because they're not dating or married to someone in their own race. It's horrible.
Yes.
Okay, we shouldn't do that to each other as a people. Does it exist? Absolutely. But it's horrible that those kinds of things still exist in 2021.
Yes.
Right. But I would say that you and the person that you're in a relationship with have to be for each other and have to be strong and not let outside influences come in and get in between what you're trying to build and what you're trying to accomplish as a relationship, as a family.
Right.
Because you can't do anything about ignorance.
Nope.
You know what I mean? That people are going to be ignorant and say things and think things and all of that. But
even your own peoples.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes there might be people in your own family might believe, oh, you shouldn't be with
right
someone that's not in your race, right?
Right. or just have a problem because they're different.
Right. But
not even like consciously being like, oh, they're this or that. It's just, oh, they're different.
Right. But
for whatever reason,
you and your partner, the person you're in a relationship with, have to be strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to stick, especially if you now have a child that's of mixed race.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I believe, and I'm going to end with this. I believe that as a black man with a now mixed child, that I have to explain to him certain things.
Yes.
Okay. That even though he's fairer skin, some people are going to look at him, especially when they see him with me. And if they didn't know exactly, what his ethnicity was, when they see him with me, they're going to say, oh, you're black. Right.
As
soon as they see a parent, I go to school with them or something like that, drop them off or whatever, and they say, oh, now I know he's black. So, and some people might act a little different after that.
Right.
So I make sure that I have conversations with him about saying, hey, yo, listen, some people, when they find out that you're black, they're going to treat you a certain kind of way.
Yeah, people.
This is unfortunately the world that we live in.
I mean, I hope he never feels, and he hasn't so far.
Right. But, I hope, one day he gets, pulled over and the cop doesn't think he's black and nothing escalates out of control.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's
because of that. But, these are kind of things that you have to talk about and get out because it's important. You know what I mean? But I honestly, I do not care. Be with whoever you want to be with, whoever makes you happy, whoever you love. It is not for me or anyone else to judge or tell you what you should or you shouldn't be doing with your life. Okay.
Right.
Our life is long and life is short all at the same time. Right. So this is what 2000, at the age I'm in, I don't know how many summers I got left.
Really?
No, I just want to say it like this. I don't know how many summers I got left, right? So what I can't do.
That got dark.
No. I'm not trying to be dark about it. I'm just trying to say, right, that nobody knows the day or the hour. You know what I'm saying? So why waste your time
worrying about
what other people think, right? If they're not coming at you with some love and some respect, you know what I'm saying? Don't even bother with it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You and the person that you in a relationship, y'all work together and get strong and be strong and do what y'all need to do to make y'all shit work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the minute somebody's judging you, you try to judge them back. That's a problem. Why you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Nah. You just gonna skip on by when you see me and my mixed race wife walking down the street. Just gonna skip on by. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old to be fighting.
No comments from the peanut gallery.
I'm too old to be in the street fighting, right? But that's not to say that you should try me.
Can't take you nowhere. You always trying to fight.
That's not to say that you should try me. Because, there's a line.
Try Jesus.
There's a line. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's a line. I got all this gray hair. I shouldn't be out in the street fighting. That's not a good example to set for my child. But if you come wrong,
who are you threatening?
I'm not threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just talking about how I feel about it.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't come wrong, and everything gonna be all right.
Yeah. So we've been lucky enough to have accepting families and not having to too much deal with any kind of outside, comments or slurs. Yeah. So, but if you have any questions you want to comment, ask questions, even after you've the live is over and you watch later, for those that watch later, definitely comment and instant message us or whatnot.
Yeah. Comment, share, invite people to join the group.
Yeah, share the lives, guys. That would help out a lot. And also, don't forget that you can invite people to the private group too. So if you have friends that you feel like might enjoy what we're doing, extend an invitation. We'll get them right in. Thank you for listening always and for supporting us. We appreciate you. Again, you can find us on Apple, Spotify. Of course, this audio will be uploaded. So if you want to listen again, you can. If you want to come back and watch, we're also on YouTube. Hey, you can go subscribe on YouTube as well.
Subscribe.
Yeah. So, of course, at Gonna Have Words is all the handles for us on social media. So
share it with your friends. Tell your family about it. Tell your co-workers about it remotely. Like, hey, check these two out. They got a nice little thing going on. Give them a listen.
You know also, what I mean? We might be doing a little extension just to get you guys a little bit more content.
Yeah.
The videos would be shorter than this. It would be very direct questions. So if you have questions that are very specific, that you want an opinion on, send them right in.
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna be both of us because somebody be too busy. This one here. It might just be me, yours truly. So we'll see.
Yep. So we thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you and hope to see you again. We'll see you guys in the group.
Yeah. Be good, everybody.
Bye. Be good.